Legion of Superheroes number 19, written by Paul Levitz, art by Scott Collins and Jeff Johnson. So last issue, I mean, everything was just going wrong. It's hard to say otherwise, but the big thing was that the Legionnaires were building a rocket ship that can go into space, even with their tech all shut off. This issue picks up on a planet called Weber's World, which is completely artificial, and so the whole planet just is dead. And we see that the Emerald Empress is flying around with her glowing green laser eye thing. And she's just flying around, shooting people, vaporizing them, and just murdering in a general sense. And she's apparently talking to Tharok, who's basically just egging her on, just like, yeah, no, do it, kill them. Like, this is your planet, do whatever you want with it. So that's going on. And then as she has cornered a small group of civilians, a red and blue blur jumps into the scene, and it's Mon-El, and he's like, no one is going to die today. And he looks around, he's like, okay, no one else is going to die today. So then we cut back to the Promethean Giant, where Phantom Girl and the other two are there, and they're outrunning the giant who's just scratching his arm. And they're like, oh, what are we going to do? Should we save these civilians that are trapped here? And they're like, okay, but they kind of ate our teammates, so should we even bother? They're kind of dicks. But then the frost-powered guy, the ice guy, it's Breck is his name. I couldn't tell you his superhero name, but regardless, he tries freezing the giant's finger, and he's like, maybe that'll block it, or at least make him scratch somewhere else. But then, it's a giant, so it immediately breaks through the ice. He tries to freeze it again. Jacques jumps in and is like, no, be careful, and they both end up getting crushed, seemingly. Phantom Girl sees this, and she's like, oh my god, I'm getting all my friends killed. Oh, Jesus, take me next. I'm done with all of this. And she tries to, jump into it, and it seems like it might actually have hit her. So then we go back to Weber's World. Whole lot of destruction going on, and Emerald Empress is basically just tearing apart the planet just to get to Mon-El. Mon-El's, of course, busy as the destruction goes on, saving all the civilians, and he's setting them down. He's like, all right, you seem to be safe here. I'm going to go deal with that. And they're like, our whole planet's coming apart. We're not really safe anywhere. Could you just get us off planet before it completely destroys itself? And he's like, there are other Legionnaires coming, but I'm like, I'm busy, bro. So he goes back to fight the Empress, and he gets blasted hard all the way up into outer orbit as the Legionnaires show up, and they're like, oh, hey, it's Mon-El. It looks like he's fighting against Emerald Empress, so that's kind of an issue. And she flies up to continue fighting with him up in orbit. Then we cut over to the edge of the United Planets, where the Persuader is kind of just chilling. And he's like, oh man, Tharok, I'm talking to you over hologram. This is great. Everything is going fantastically now that the Legionnaires are gone and all the technology is malfunctioning. How's it going controlling that Promethean giant anyway? And Tharok is like, oh, it's going great. I mean, I'm losing it a little bit. Really, I can't focus on two things. I'm going to go do the giant thing. I'll talk to you later, Persuader. And Persuader's like, yep, nope, no problem. And as soon as Tharok signs off, he's like, I'm going to betray you so hard once we're the ones in charge of things. So then we see Empress is pissed off because Brainiac put his force field around Mon-El. And then everyone in the ship is like, hey, Brainy, isn't that force field supposed to protect us? Like, isn't it holding the ship together? And Brainiac's like, oh, don't worry. We have 8 seconds until our ship completely falls apart. That's more than enough to give Mon-El a chance to get back up. Mon-El's like, yep, I'm up. No one ring that bell. So he gets out of the force field. He goes to throw a punch. Empress is just literally already on top of him. She uses her eye again, and this time it seems to be nearly fatal, where we get the reaction shots of all of the different Legionnaires that were on the ship. So apparently he's still alive, though. Empress comes up and she's like, oh, well, I will fix that. And she does that thing where every time she says the word I, and she says it a lot, she uses EYE. Just a note. At that point, the Legionnaires exit the ship, and she's like, oh, cool, I'm going to kill you guys too. But then one of them, I think Element Lad, is surrounding Empress in solid inertron, so she's going to be unable to escape from there. And the other Legionnaires bring Mon-El into the ship, and they're like, we're doing everything we can to keep him alive, but right now it's touch and go. And then the final page is Chameleon Lad, I think her name is like Glorith, and Ultra Guy, whatever his name is. They have ended up on Glorith's homeworld because she cast a spell last issue to get them there. And as they arrive, they're like, uh-oh, something's wrong. There feels like an earthquake. And then far beneath them on the planet, Validus is coming up through the planet's core to attack them. And that's the issue. Emerald Empress is the only one of the Fatal Five I actually know. Like, she's the only one that's even kind of familiar to me. All the other names I had to deeply review before getting into this review. So I appreciate the fact that they gave her an issue where it's just like, yeah, no, she's a big threat. She is a part of this, and we're showing off her power set. And that's more than I feel like I've gotten for everyone else in the Fatal Five. I get that Therak's smart, and I get that Validus is a big beast guy, but Persuader I don't know anything about, and have we met the fifth guy? I don't recall. So yeah, I'm just a little bit, I don't want to say burned out, but they're obviously killing off so many members. So either A, this is going to go up right to the finale, in which case I could see them actually losing, or at least a Pyrrhic victory where enough of the Legion is dead that it's like, all right, did we really win it all? Or I see them just doing a big reset where, they're time travelers. They're able to do that stuff. I can see them doing a reset. So either way they go, I'm at least interested in the overall plot. I still think it has the issue of too many side quests going on at the same time with not enough direction as to what is happening where. It just gets a little bit confusing reading month to month. So I'm going to give this one I gotta say, I really did enjoy Jeff Johnson's art. Scott Collins is a little hit or miss for me, but when it got to Jeff's stuff, I think it actually looked pretty good. So I'm going to give this one a 6.5, and hopefully I can keep even some of these names by the time it comes around to be next month, but I am not hoping for much.